In physics, evaluate the drawbacks of UV rays. UV rays. UV ray means ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet is a form of electromagnetic radiations with wavelength from 10 Newton meter to 400 Newton meter, shorter than that of the visible light but longer than X-rays. UV radiation is present in the sunlight and constitutes about 10% of total electromagnetic radiations output from the sun. It is also protected by electric arcs and specialized lights such as mercury vapor lamps, staining lamps, and black lights. Although long wavelength ultraviolet is not considered on igniting radiations because its photons lack the energy to ignite atoms, it can cause chemical reactions and cause many UV rays substance to go or fluoresce. Consequently, the chemical and biological effects of UV are greater than simple heating effects, and many practical applications of UV radiation derived from its interactions with organic molecules. Shorter wave ultraviolet light damages DNA and sterilizes surface with which it comes into contact. From humans, sunshine and sunburn are familiar effects to exposure of the skin to UV ray, along with an increased rise of skin cancer. The almost of UV light produced by the sun means that the earth would not be able to sustain life on dry land if the most of that light were not filtered out by the atmosphere. More energetic, shorter wavelength, extreme UV below 121 nm ionized air so strongly that it absorbs before it reaches the ground for our ultraviolet light. The ultraviolet light stress rays is also responsible for the formations of vitamin D in the most land with vibrates, including humans. The UV spectrum that has effects both beneficial and harmful to life. The lower wavelength limit of a human vision is conversely taken as 400 Newton meter, so ultraviolet rays are invisible to humans, although people can sometimes perceive light at a shorter wavelengths than it is insects, birds, and some animals can see near UV and UV is slightly shorter wavelengths than what humans can see. So examples of the ultraviolet is portable ultraviolet lamp. Advantages of ultraviolet rays: it play a vital role in forming of ozone. It helps the production of vitamin D. UV rays emitted devices are used as a pest controlling devices. It is used to study various chemical structures. It is used to create sunstain. Disadvantages of UV rays: exposure to UV ray may cause skin cancers rashes, nose, mouth, like that. UV rays leads to melanoma. Suppress the proper functioning of immune system, cause cataract. It may even lead to premature aging. It helps in production of vitamin D. UV rays emitting devices are used as a pest controlling device. It is studied in various in advantages. Harmful effects of ultraviolet radiations. Harmful effects staining of or consuming purpose by something or by using artificial staining devices with widespread the hazards associated with the exposure the ultraviolet radiations are of concern to the medical professions report depending on the amount and the form of the radiations as well as on the skin type of the individual exposed. Ultraviolet radiation cause retina, sunburn, photo damage, photocarcinosis, damage to the eyes, alteration of the immune system of the skin, and chemical hypersensitive skin cancer, most commonly produced by ultraviolet radiation and basal and squamous cell carcinosis. There also is much critical evidence that increase in the incidence of managing melanoma during the past half century is related to increased sun exposure, but this has not been proved effective and cosmetically acceptable sunscreen preparations have been developed that can do much to prevent or reduce most harmful effects to ultraviolet radiation if they are applied properly and consistently. Other safety measure includes harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation, minimizing exposure to ultraviolet radiations, being aware of reflective surface while in the sun, we wearing protective clothing, um, avoid use of the artificial tanning devices, protecting infants and children's skin cancer, effects of UV rays, health effects of UV rays, skin cancer, premature aging and other skin damage, cataracts and other eye damages, immune systems are suspense. Skin cancers in UV rays. Each year, more new cases of skin cancers are diagnosed in the USA. The new cases of breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancer are combined. 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime. One American dies from skin cancer every year. Up unprotected exposed to UV radiation is the most preventive risk factors for skin cancer. Melanoma, the most serious form of skin cancer, is now one of the most common cancers along adolescents and young adults aged to 15 to 29, while melanoma accounts for about 3% of skin cancer causes. It causes more 75% of skin cancer deaths. UV exposure and sunburns, particularly during childhood, are risk factors for the diseases. Not all may are exclusively sun-related. Other possible influence include genetic factors and immune system deficiencies. Non-melanoma skin cancers are less deadly than melanomas. Nevertheless, they can spread if left undone, causing deficient and more serious health problems. There are two prime types of non-melanoma skin cancers: basal cells and sequential squamous cells. If often treated early, these two cancers are rarely fats, aging, and other skin damage. Other UV-related skin destroys, including arctic keratosis and again of these skin aging keratosites or skin growths that occurs on body areas exposed to the sun. The face, hands, formants, and the neck are especially suspected to this type of lesion, although primarily aging are risk factors for the sick. Muscle carcinoma, localized reddish rough textures, growths, and seek from medical attendance if you discover them. Chronic exposure to the sun also causes premature aging, which over time can make the skin become thick, wrinkled, and the lecture since it occurs grandly often. Itself mainly years after the majority of the persons are exposed. Premature again is often regarded as unavoidable non-part of growing order. However, up to 90% of the visible skin changes commonly attributed to again or caused by the sun with proper protection of radiation. Most premature again of these can be avoided. Cardiacs and other eye damages. Cardiacs are form eye damage in which loss of transfer in the lessons of the eye clouds within if left under untreated clots can lead to the to blind. Since research has shown that UV radiation increases the likelihood of setting cataracts, although coupled with the modern eye surgery, diminishes the eyesight of millions of Americans and cost billions of dollars. Is medical careers such each year. Other kind of eye damage includes petrigium, skin cancer around the eyes, and the degenerations of the macula. All of those problems can be lesser with proper eye protections. Look for slantless glasses and contact lenses if you wear then that for 99 to 100% UV protection. New suppression scientists have found that overexposed to UV radiation may suppress proper functioning of the body immune system and the skin natural deficiency. For example, the skin normally mounts defense against foreign threats such as cancer and infections, but overexposed to UV radiation can weaken the immune system reduction and skin's ability to protect against these reach limitations of UV rays. Analysis must have a chromatic activity. The mobile phase must be transparent to UV to have acceptable sensitivity and naturally. Detector's response depends on E and can be highly variable from different compounds. Closely related compounds with an allotted chromophone can have very similar UV base spectra. For this reason, the usefulness for weak identification purity assignment is much lower than that of MS. Thank you.